Hello everyone, I'm Neetsel and this is Castlevania but for the Amiga. So this is a port of the original NES game, and there are several versions of this game actually on computers. We call them the Castlevania DOS version. So there was a version for MS-DOS, one for Commodore 64, and this one is the Amiga version, which is in my opinion the worst version of Castlevania that you can play. So right away you can see all the castle is a bit underwhelming, but the main title music is pretty cool. It's the only original track to the game. Right, so let's get started right away. Something nice about this game, which makes this game doable in the marathon, is that it has a save system, which is a pretty cool addition to the game. So time will start right now. Here we go. So what makes this version so bad? Well, there are several things. First, the design of the enemies are definitely a choice, as you can see from these ghouls. And the other big problem are really the controls. Like, doing anything takes a small amount of time. So when you whip, there's like a 1 second delay before your attack comes out. Something else that is pretty awful is that this is an Amiga game, and the Amiga only had one button in addition to the directions. So to throw items in Castlevania, usually you would press up and the attack button. But in this version, what you do is that you have to hold down the attack button. So you have a delay on the whip, and then you have an additional delay to throw sub-weapons. It's really, really awful. So right away we are reaching the first boss. So we're just going to use the clock, which is kind of like the backup strat that we have for Castlevania on the NES. And we're through with the first stage. A nice thing about the game is that you can skip a lot of these animation, and I'm going to do a lot of saves. So here we just got a bug where the sub-weapon still worked in the next screen. That happens from time to time. Something that you might notice as well is that my weapons will probably go through a few enemies as we go along, without damaging them, because that's the way this game works. Alright, so I'm going to make a save here. The reason that I'm making saves is because the cross is the most useful, yeah, here we go. It's the most useful weapon in the game, and without that there are some bosses that are just really, really annoying to deal with. So I'm going to do a few resets as well. Also, yeah, this game has a frame rate. I'm going to look to the right just to make sure that this thing stops following me. It doesn't spawn right in front of me. Alright, so here we're going to have a first actual trick of the game, which is a bit more annoying than in the NES version, but we got it first try, so that's awesome. This one is frame perfect, but again, the game doesn't run at 60 frames, so it's not that bad. These things will murder you if they touch you, and their collision is just the worst. Alright, we're through, so going to throw a cross behind me just to get rid of this guy. We are taking the triple shot, so I'll be able to have 3 crosses on screen at the same time, which is really useful against the next boss that we're going to face. Right there I took damage. Why? No idea. That enemy was super far from me. It happens from time to time. It's just Castlevania for the Amiga. We just love it. Something that's really bad that I like to show is like the boss only activates when I get to the far side of the screen, and look what it does. There is absolutely no way to avoid that. You have to take these damages. Also, hitting the boss with the whip is just a nightmare. It's super hard. Also, this game likes to drop inputs as well, so from time to time you'll see me trying to throw across and just nothing comes out. Alright, we are going to jump over these guys, these fleamen. We're going to look to the right to get damage boost to the left so that we are still in the invisibility window when we reach that Richard, because skeletons are called Richard in Castlevania. Hopefully my cross worked here. Yeah, managed to kill that bird. Going to jump over this guy and then move to the next screen. So yeah, my estimate is pretty long for this game in Marathon, and that's really because of the RNG. It's like there are some stages where you have to use glitch to actually get through them, and also it can have some really bad RNG that can make you lose a lot of time. So maybe this run will take 14 minutes, or maybe we'll get really close to that 24 estimate. Alright, we are through that screen. Here we're going to do a lot of damage boost throughout the screen. These guys take forever to kill, so we just damage boost through them. I'm going to stop a little bit, just not to take that attack from the fireball. Looking to the left to make the Medusa spawn on my left so that I can just walk forward and not get worried about having to deal with all of them. Picking up this meat, and we're going to get rid of these guys. Please throw these crosses. Here we go. Phew! And we're through stage 3. Next stage is the worst one in the whole game. I'm going to just try to complete it without glitching the game, so that you can see how unfair this level can be. Alright, so and now we have vampire killing on this section. That's definitely when it's supposed to occur in the soundtrack. Yeah, so the main issue with this screen is that the mermen, well, the way they spawn is really a nightmare. On the NES version, they would spawn like far away from you, so it's manageable. On this version, they can just spawn right on top of you, even though when you are on these moving platforms. So that screen is a nightmare to get through casually. But what we are going to do is that we are going to make the game glitch by jumping at a precise time, and here we have no fleamen appearing. So this makes this screen manageable, but we're not through yet because right at the end we have to deal with some fleamens and one merman, and if that merman spawn on top of us, well, it's really hard to survive that section. Ooh. Okay, he spawned right behind us, so we got like super good RNG right there. So yeah, this is the easiest screen in the game. In the NES version, it's well, it's a bit challenging to learn how to run this section. Here, you just all right, and that's it. Also, I invite you to look at the background in the next section because it's kind of weird. It's like, are these supposed to be horses? Why is castle written everywhere? It doesn't make sense. But I just love that this section is like, what were they thinking? So, come on, attack! So I just hope that I don't get a sub-weapon spawning on me. And here we go, we got him. Phew! So far the run is going really well, so hopefully I don't get any bad surprise later on, and we got loads of hearts, so I'm going to make a save because the save system saves the amount of health that you have and the amount of hearts that you have. Also, some of the stuff that I really like about this game is like I love the UI at the top. Just like, why are there little sparkles around score, player, and enemy? I mean, it's just wonderful. These guys are really annoying to deal with because they barely, well, they respawn really quickly. The flea men as well, like hitting them with the whip is really, really hard. Alright, so making a save here, we're going to try to... Oh yeah, we got great RNG right there, so that's perfect. From time to time as well, like stairs won't behave properly. Like you would just fall through them when you transition from one screen to another. Something else that's really awful about this version is the way enemy spawn work, because in Castlevania, the original, well, here we go. Why do you need hitboxes for these guys? For some reason, the cross just didn't work on them. But yeah, the way the enemy spawn is really like just like in Mega Man. So the moment they exit the spawn point exit the screen, they can just respawn. And the thing is that the level design is not planned that way, so you have sections that can be really, really annoying. Alright. So yeah, we should be good for the rest of the run. I'm just going to grab a safety meat right here, just in case. Going to make another save, just in case. Ah, come on. It's like... It's probably not the worst looking version of the Castlevania DOS version, but the way it plays is something really special that you should experience at some point. Here we have a safe spot for deaths. It works 90% of the time, like right there for some reason I got hit, and also the game decided that I can't duck anymore. Come on, please. Because yeah, from time to time you hold down and the game will make you stand up. No idea why, that's just the way it works. Alright, here we go. So here I got some art, which is pretty good because we are fighting the first boss again. And we have to use crosses to get across. The thing that's annoying with this witch is that, like I said, the way they spawn these bats is just like in Mega Man. So if you get hit and knocked back, you have a second one spawning on top of one another, and it's a nightmare to deal with. Right there we had some really good RNG because I have loads of hearts exceeding the screen. This is the kind of RNG that I barely ever get, so it is pretty good. Going to move forward, get that Richard right next to us, and here we're going to make the game glitch by doing a wrong warp. For some reason, if you land on the stairs from the top and then press left, you just end up at the end of the stage. Something pretty fun. This stair is broken. Here you go. So I absolutely love the dying sound in this game. Yeah, that final stair, for some reason, is the one that you can break. You can break the most reliably. All right, so we're about we were about to fight death, but there's no way that I'm going to use the holy water, which is the worst weapon in this game, because yeah, the collision on the whip again is pretty awful, and managing to hit Dracula is really a nightmare. Alright, so let's do this again. Loads of hearts, so that's awesome. We'll just throw across just to make sure that we don't spawn it. Right, making a save to keep all of our hearts, and then we'll get across with Dracula. So Dracula, the way it works in this version is kind of similar to the NES version. In the NES version, when it appears, you have a few seconds to actually move away. In this version, it's random. From time to time, it will hit you even before he actually appeared, and from time to time, you'll have a few seconds. This is the Cookie Monster. I mean, the game stops its music because even the game doesn't know what it's looking at. I really love this version of the Cookie Monster. Its collisions are awful, but we had some really amazing RNG on Dracula, so I should be able to clear this, and the run has been super fast. So that's it, that's time. A really, really good run. That's really the kind of run that I don't get really often. Plus, I showed a few deaths and that kind of stuff, so this could have been, well, maybe a PB if I just focus on that. And yeah, something else that I love about this game is this high score screen. So it's not a it's not a mod or anything. It's actually called the Hall of Blame, which I find it fantastic. And I love to put just the people from the Kuzo community who kind of, I mean, they are the reason I run, they are part of the reason I run bad games and I end up playing these kind of things. So big shout out to all of them. And I hope you enjoyed the run. I'll be back in a few minutes probably with Alien 2 for the MSX.